we are looking forward to. But yes, the big update right now, flashing on the bottom of the screen, is the numbers coming in from TCS on a consolidated sequential basis. Just looking at the numbers, the first look, revenue has come in at 70,698 crore rupees. That is slightly better than what the street was estimating at 69,000 crore rupees, nominally higher than that, more or less in line. But yes, that's an uptick of 1.7% on a sequential basis. That's the first highlight that I have of the numbers. They've also declared dividend of 31 rupees per share. I'm just taking a look at what these numbers are looking like. So far, the revenue looking slightly better. If you take a look at what the profit is for the period, 10,657 crore rupees, the street was expecting an amount around 13,551. So it's a miss coming in on the net profit number this time around, and a significant one at that. Just waiting by for more numbers, but yes, this is the kind of print that we are seeing from TCS, a net profit at 13,718 crores. Okay, so that's my mistake in looking at those numbers. It's a 13,718 crore number coming in. So actually more or less in line then with what the street was estimating, and we'll have more numbers flashing on the bottom of the screen in just a bit. But let's just very quickly, yes, Harsh.
I'll just take over on that. So when you're looking at last quarter, there was a labor code impact of around 2,000 crore. You're seeing restructuring expenses around 253 crore and provision towards legal claim of around 1,000 crore. All of that, of course, depressed the profitability of last quarter, and last quarter's profitability was at approximately 10,657 crore. Absolutely precisely, 10,657 crore was the last quarter profit. This time, the 13,718 crore number looks healthy in comparison, and that's because of those one-offs that came through last quarter. We'll wait and watch as to how EBIT margins are likely to flow through. In fact, the revenue number coming in slightly better than what we at ET now were penciling in, at least a couple of percentage points better, and that is likely because of the INR depreciation, right? I mean, very, very understandably, that INR depreciation tailwind is reflecting on the top line. There's a dividend of rupees 31 a share, which has also come through. We'll wait for the margin picture. 13,718 is the net profit number. And essentially, when you're looking at the estimates and trying to compare this with estimates, there was an anticipation, an expectation that that around the 13,000 crore number is where the profit after tax will come in at. But I'm just trying to understand and probably dive a little bit deeper in trying to get a sense as to what this means, because a lot of it will be currency depreciation, which is getting built in to the growth when you're looking at the numbers sequentially. Let me bring on board Aditya Shah, founder, Hercules Advisors, joining us this afternoon to give us a sense on how he's looking at the TCS numbers. Aditya, above, below, in line, how would you rate it very quickly, first off, to start off?
On now, steady set of numbers. I think the constant currency revenue growth, I think, is nearly about 1%, which was broad expectations. The EBIT margin is something that I'm looking for. I've not been able to see the numbers, but the PAT numbers is more or less in line with what was expected. Q3 was impacted, as you said, by all those one-offs. I don't think that is the case here. So from my perspective, steady set of numbers, nothing to get excited about. Now, guidance about the 27 business, disruptions on the Middle East verticals, on the Middle East business, what will happen there, and what is the future roadmap with respect to AI is something that I will watch out for in the comments.
We have more clarity when it comes to numbers. The EBIT margin has come in at 25.3. Our internal poll was 25.5. So first, would like your view on that. And secondly, we have the constant currency number at 1.2% sequentially, on the higher range of what we were estimating. And the TCV has come in at $12 billion, which is amongst their highest TCV ever. Your thoughts on all of these numbers?
The TCV number is a good number. It is an impressive number. The constant currency revenue growth, as I said, was expecting around 1%. It is 1.2%. That is also fairly okay.
Okay.
And the margin, 25 point, my range was between 25% to 25.4%. They come in at 25.3%, which is fairly okay. So as I said, steady set of numbers, nothing to complain about as such on the first look. We need to go into the details to see more.
Right. The revenue number standing out, Aditya, what's the sense like with regard to currency, and how much of a tailwind has that been? Because constant currency growth was at 1.2%, which is largely in line. It's the revenue bump up is being seen largely because of currency.
Yes. So as I said, constant currency revenue growth is something that I always keenly watch out for. Currency tailwind is always there for these companies. 1% is fairly okay, but the more impressive point is the TCS, the TCV value. That is really very good, pointing out that not much slowdown has been seen in this quarter. But any which way, only one month of this quarter was disrupted. So we need to see how the future guidance is with respect to how the TCVs are going to play out over the next 3 to 6 months.
Okay, interesting. So that's the take coming in on a TCS. Of course, Aditya, thank you so much for joining us, giving us that first take. And also on such a critical day, it'll be interesting to see what